My newsletter basically is structured. The first two paragraphs is where I call it peacocking. I talk about me, what I do, the good, bad, and ugly, and that's where the relationship is built. Basically, every week, what we do in terms of business, what's my exit plan in the next 18 months. So things like that will go out today. And then it's structured about the different events that happen around the world, different business awards that are open that people can apply, and different business grants that are open, more specific to Australia because most of my clients are based in Australia. And then one podcast episode of mine. So it's basically Monday morning, they get to plan the business awards that they will have to apply, business grants that they can apply, events that they can register and attend. So it's more for them. So always it's about what's in it for them. It's not about me talking about myself, how much it's nice to feed my ego, but why would people open the email newsletter? What's in it for them? So that's why it's been very successful for the past 3 years. And I think it's my third source of lead gen right now. And if people come through my newsletter, I get like it's 100% close, right? Because they're already pretty hot lead and they just want to know the pricing. They just want to know if that's the right fit.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Today is Sunday, March 29th, making it our 14th Zoom meeting. We do have two guest speakers today. We have Priya, where she's going to be going over GoHighLevel and how to get our first 10 to 20 clients in the first 90 days. And then we also have Horacio. He'll be covering Lovable and GoHighLevel. All right, so let's give our warm welcome to Priya. Thank you so much for joining and taking the time to join today. So I appreciate you. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. So yeah, let me quickly share my screen. These are my 3 keynotes with HighLevel. So I think for the group, I believe you benefit from this particular topic, a very simple framework that I used to sign my first 10 or 20 clients without overwhelm or anxiety, because no one wants to feel that way. So this is a 1-hour presentation. So I'm just going to skip to the main important information that'll help you to get something out of it. So a very, very quick background. I didn't start my life as a marketer. I started my life as an academician. I used to be a university lecturer back in India. So I have completed my PhD in bioinformatics, which is biotechnology done on computers. Always been a computer nerd, but then, usually people have all these rags to riches stories. I don't have that. I basically started off very happily as an academician and then self-taught marketer, and then got certified with HighLevel. And once I started HighLevel, that's it. My niche is HighLevel. That's what I say. My niche is HighLevel. We work with all industries, anyone and everyone that are in the HighLevel world, basically. So this is basically for anybody who's wanting to scale using HighLevel wherever you are. It's a framework that's my IP. Power is an acronym, and that is what we're going to look at today. The framework which will help you get your first 10 or 20 clients. Usually, what are the most common 5 mistakes people do in the HighLevel world? And I always love to give people something to take home, so their roadmap to convert. So this is basically my life. I'm not going to go through it, but my biggest aha moment after moving to Australia 11 years ago was time equals money. Because in India, we used to get a fixed salary per month, but in Australia, every ticking hour of my time had a dollar value. So as an immigrant, you only try to maximize it. And only after that, you realize that time is a very finite resource. So anything and everything I implement is all about saving time and not trading time for money. And HighLevel is a perfect example on how you can leverage the automation aspect to not be trading time for money. So I started off with ClickFunnels, and then it was a side hustle. And then I love Russell Brunson, but I can stay loyal to the platform. It's very limited in terms of functionality. So I always like to say, you can sit on multiple webinars and you can listen to all these advices, but if you don't implement, then nothing helps, So this is my little team. I always focus on implementation, but I don't like doing the job. So a part of my business model is I've got a company in India where I train Indian women to become financially independent, meaning they do the implementation for me. Right now, we've got teams in 4 different countries, and I've got 3 brands. One is Pivot to Thrive, which is my Australian SaaS agency, HL Growth Partner, which is a global high-level fulfillment company, and VA agency, which is my Indian company to train and place Indian women. So this is my team in 2024. We had a small meetup when I went there to meet them basically. So April 2024, I still remember 26th of April 2024 is when my bestie Hati introduced me to HighLevel when I went to Sydney. So I've been in the industry only for 2 years, and this is what I tell people: if I can do it, you can do it too. I had transferable skills from ClickFunnels world that I could quickly implement and fast track my way. So whatever you're doing, all you have to do is implement it using HighLevel, and it can really fast track your success pretty quickly. All right, now getting to the actual concept or the framework itself. What we do, one thing we do really well is the audit. We do a gap analysis or an audit for businesses that are starting out and they're struggling to sign clients. We ask them what is the thing that they're struggling with, why are they not seeing results. And agencies, high-level agencies that are struggling to scale, we do a structured audit analysis to see the gaps. So basically the gap analysis will help you to go from point A to point B in the shortest, quickest, smartest way. That's all it does. And we do tell clients you get to choose two out of these, right? If it's good and fast, it's not going to be cheap. If it's going to be cheap and fast, it's not going to be good. So we do tell them, especially in the high-level ecosystem, there are offshore VAs that are willing to work for $1.50 an hour, $2 an hour, $3 an hour. We cannot price ourselves with racing to the bottom kind of a pricing strategy. You have to stand your ground firm with what value you bring to the table. It is very frustrating right now in the ecosystem where people's expectation is always cheap, $5 an hour, $3 an hour, but they're not your ideal clients anyway. So you should be able to walk away from those deals without frustration to understand they are not the ideal clients that you want to serve. All right. So this is my IP, which is basically understanding or auditing or finalizing 5 different elements. And I believe every struggling business, irrespective of high level or not, this is the fundamental gaps which would help you to understand where is the revenue leaking or where is the revenue actually not coming through. The very first one is product and pricing. Having the right product and the right pricing is key to succeed in the high-level ecosystem or any product. I don't know how many of you have been to high-level, Level Up at Dallas, 1,500 people all using high-level, but still people make, businesses, people collaborate, people refer each other, people give business to each other. Just because you have access to the same software does not mean you are competing against them. That's a very narrow scarcity mindset. It's a bloody abundant universe. All of us can share a fair share of our pie. So always have that collaborative mindset in place. Always believe in collaboration over competition, and you can really go very far with this tool and this beautiful ecosystem. And pricing, like I said, is really key. Warm lead generation, meaning do you have a strategy to capture every traffic that comes onto your website and then nurture them until they buy? And after they buy, do you have some kind of a container to retain them? Do you have some kind of container to retarget them, upsell them? So it's a whole, what high-level calls the growth flywheel. Basically, it's a foundation. This is the foundation for everyone who's starting or struggling to sign the first 10 or 20 clients, is whether they have a warm lead generation pipeline. I'm going to walk you through the different steps. And then the next key important thing is whether your online profile reflects who you are, what you do, the clear problem you solve. Does it really position your authority? There are a lot of people who go to private or offline networking events, their business cards and what they say and what's there on their website and social media is very different. So your online and offline resource that you provide has to match and sync with what you are doing. So this is where a lot of businesses have a problem. Like if I do a live audit of prospects when they come on a sales call, their social media does not reflect what they do. Their social media content is clearly not articulating the value they bring to the table. So that's a huge gap because it's a global ecosystem. You are not bound to a particular geography unless you are focusing on local businesses in your suburb, you're doing Google My Business profile or something similar. Even in that case, they should be able to find you. So why would you not tap into that resource would be my question. And the next one is having a sales process, having an opportunity, having a system to take people's money. You would be so surprised how many agencies and businesses do not have that. With no disrespect, I want to say I had my booth at HighLevel India in February last month, and even HighLevel agencies that paid thousands of dollars to be there and have a booth did not have a system to capture the lead, did not have system to take money from people. And that surprised the hell out of my life. I'm like, why would you not practice what you preach, right? So having a simple system to capture the traffic, the foot traffic, that is huge. So having a system to take money from people is really, really simple, but a lot of businesses miss out on the psychology of that whole sales system. I used to do webinar on science and psychology of online sales, because online sales is very different. You meet someone, you shake hands, you understand the energy and you buy. It's very different to online, where people actually tap their cards without speaking to you or without fully knowing who you are, right? So that's huge. So to build that trust, know, like, and trust factor using online is a huge one. And like I said, one huge advantage of SaaS or HighLevel is the ability to have an MRR, meaning minimum recurring revenue. I focus more on LTV, which is lifetime value of a client, but we all start with minimum recurring revenue. And somewhere we all have this number, $10,000, as a golden number to start with. So my talk in India was how to get 5-figure MRR using HighLevel. And with ClickFunnels or other social media marketing agencies that I had in the past, I struggled to hit that number, $10,000. But with HighLevel, when you do it right, there is a setup fee that you charge upfront. There's a monthly retainer you charge based on the services that you provide. And there are other trickling revenue systems like affiliate revenues and others, which makes $10,000 very easy. All right. So once you do it right, I say it easy with, and I want you to take it with a pinch of salt. Everyone has different things. So disclaimer, you have to do your own research, and all these results vary depending on your offer and your pricing. So people who are starting out, we actually help them set up all the 5 elements of this, because getting this right is the foundation of your business or launching your agency. It could be your own business or it could be launching an agency. Agencies that already have these systems in place, we actually do a gap analysis to identify gaps and try to fix those gaps to get them quick wins and help them get their MRR in place, right? So when it comes to product, I quickly want to say that there are different offers. You can price it however you want, but the easiest one, because HighLevel is becoming so popular in the market these days, it's not becoming a hard sell anymore. People know what is HighLevel, and it's very easy to get in. But for you to get in, I always like to call it foot in the door offer, meaning one clear product, what people wanting to solve, right? For example, if any of you are part of different networking groups like BNI or Chambers of Commerce, one clear product that gets my foot in their door is the business card automation. Okay, it's a simple automation you can set up in 5 minutes, basically. So when you go to a networking event and you get a business card, I mean, I'm sure many women would agree that lots of business cards stay in their handbags, never gets anywhere, right? And for men, probably your desk. So lots of business cards stay there. So I demonstrate a simple automation. So I get their card. HighLevel app has this native feature called business card scanner. You scan that business card, it extracts the name, email, phone number, and you can have a specific tag. I used to be part of BNI, so I had a tag called BNI Network. What it'll do, it'll send an email straight away. Hey Trevor, it was lovely to meet you at BNI this morning. This is a little bit about what I do, and I would love to understand more about your business and explore synergies. This is my booking link. Please book a call. So what's happened, in 20 seconds, you've got that person's contact in your CRM with a specific tag that you can segment and reuse. And that person has your details in their inbox. They're like, how did you do this? And then you're like, yeah, this is the system I use. And what I can do, I've got my Monday morning newsletter, which is 9 o'clock. In another 40 minutes, my newsletter will be out to all my email list. Every week, I've done it for 3 years. That's where I nurture them. So I capture them like this through networking groups. I tell them, hey, can I add you to my email newsletter? I'll keep you updated with what's happening in my life. If I'm too much, unsubscribe, no offense taken. So they get added to my email list. That's the capture. And how do I nurture them is through my weekly newsletters. And when they read your weekly newsletters with what's happening, they become warm. They upsell themselves. They call me, they email me, Priya, I heard about this new AI product you're launching. I would love to discuss more. So they come and they upsell themselves, and then they go on a monthly retainer. So I don't like hard, pushy sales. I like to sell, but I love to sell because that's where the commitment happens. So you don't have to sell really, really hard. You just show them the possibility of them making money. And when you help your clients start making money and keep making money, I think that's when they will not stop you making money. And I think the way you buy is the way you sell, and whatever you believe about sales is what you as a buyer believes. For me, I believe in tangible outcomes. That's why I could not succeed in my business coaching business in the past, because I did not believe that I can just invoice people for intangible coaching, which does not mean coaching is not scalable. You and I know coaching is a billion-dollar industry. I just didn't believe in it, so I couldn't sell it, right? So I wanted to offer tangible deliverables for every invoice that I pay, that I invoice people. So that's why I went into this whole implementation model. You pay me $5,000. This is what you get. You get a website, you get a sales funnel, you get this, you get this. So there's something tangible for people to believe what's working. So I want you to believe whatever product you throw out in the market, people are going to buy. But you have to first believe in it to be able to sell. The energetical alignment is real. So structure your offer. Don't try to sell the whole CRM. It's a beast, right? People will get anxious. People will get confused. So solve one clear problem, get your foot in the door, give them access to the entire suite, let them go in, figure it out, or they will hear from others to say, hey, did you know HighLevel can also help you to post your social media content, get more Google reviews, automate review responses with AI, and make you get found on Google. So people will obviously upsell themselves if you have the right nurturing sequences in place, right? And then retainers are crucial for you to get a monthly recurring revenue. So a lot of people come back with it's expensive, and you have to, like I said, you really have to know what value you bring to the table. The next key thing I want to say, in the online world, you do not really create a whole course and then wait for people to sell and then feel crickets, right? So it's a very agile, dynamic online ecosystem where you can sell first, create next. What do I mean by that? If you want to launch a course about how to make money using crypto, okay, let's say the bad example, worst example, but let's take it. How to make money using crypto. So if you don't know whether you've got an audience for that particular topic, you believe people need it, but have the audience or your prospects validated that. So what do you say? Go on social media, go to your email list, go to your SMS list, just go put an ad saying, hey, I'm launching this course on how you can make money by cryptocurrency. I'm going to do it a beta launch at a never again price of say $97. Normally $9.97. I'm going to offer it for $97. If at least one person pays you, taps their card and pays you, that's an evidence that there is an actual demand for that market. And then you go and sit back, spend your time, energy, and efforts in creating that product. Now, if nobody buys that product, what happens? Okay, you scrap it, you create a new offer, and you do it. So that's why the online business is very less capital heavy, and most entrepreneurs, ADHD, it can feed your ADHD brain because you can get creative, try something today. If it doesn't work, you go. So that's why my registered business in Australia is called Pivot to Thrive, because I believed if it's not working, you don't have to quit, you just pivot, you change something and you try and see what works. So to avoid disappointment in, especially now with AI. It's changing so fast. Like what was there yesterday is not here today. The tools that I used to create my newsletter last Monday was very different from the tools that I used this week to create. It's changing so fast. So do not set your time and energy on things that you assume the market is going to buy. Always validate the idea. Validation is key. And the one key validation is people swiping their cards. If they're not swiping their cards, it's just an idea. Ideas are cheap, okay? Implementation is what is expensive. So once people pay, then you know there is a market for that. Okay, so that's what I mean by validation, and never emphasize or believe that high level will sell itself. There's a huge sense of entitlement in the market. Oh, I am a high level certified admin. I am high level. I use high level. I'm selling high level. Why will people not buy it, right? It's always the strategy and the problem solving nature. What problem you're solving for that client always ranks higher than the software itself. Software means nothing. It's a beast. It can confuse the heck out of you. It can make you overwhelmed. But if you're going to tell your client, hey, we're just going to use to do this one thing. So we work with law firms, we work with real estates, we work with clinical industries. We do not try and replace their core CRM. We tell them very clearly, your core CRM is going to do the core job right. We're not going to replace it. We're going to add this machine, which is going to complement with your lead generation activities, your lead nurture activities, your sales activities, your marketing activities. So your strategy you mentioned has to be very clear that it's not going to replace this system, because this system is going to do this really well, whereas this one is going to help you to get more bums on seats for clinics. It's going to get you more people for your webinar. So your strategy is what ranks higher. And once you start believing in it, this is where you're not going to really compete with a $3 VA sitting offshore, okay? Because people understand the value you bring to the table cannot compete with an offshore VA that's going to charge that money for them. Okay, like I said, collaboration over competition mindset is really, really key to grow in this space. Like we literally thrive in the high level space because high level agencies want to just keep selling, and we say, you sell, we build it for you. So we act as their fulfillment partners, we white label our services. So basically it's a win-win for both of us, right? And always try, in terms of lead generation, instead of doing a one-on-one sales call, always try one to many, like webinars and events and things like that. It's really help you to fast track your success. So I just want to quickly talk about mistakes people do, especially in the high level world. People try to know it all and be it all. It's very hard to keep up. The change log, the updates that happen. We were discussing about how it does not help with ADHD people. Like I'm clinically diagnosed, and a lot of entrepreneurs in this space are. And high level just makes it worse with all these flashy things that they come up with. I'm looking forward for the lovable presentation about the new AI that they've released. So I would love to know more. But there's so much happening in this space, right? So always try and stick to what you love. I mean, commonly you can segregate two type of people: visionaries and builders, right? It's a very hard to find a unicorn that is a combination of both. I'm a visionary. I love doing the strategy. I do not like doing the nitty-gritty work. So that's why I've got a team to implement. If you're a builder, then hire someone to do the sales calls for you, right? So identify what you're good at, what you love doing, and just stick to it. Delegate the rest, right? So you only get probably 8 to 10 hours of time to do the job. If you hire 3 people, you get their 8 hours of time to do it. So I always like to have an investment mindset that way. I mean, we are a team of 42 full-time staff right now, and other contractors on a need basis. It gets me 42 times 8 people's hours every single day, and that's how we can scale pretty quickly. All right. And demo, this is so crucial. If you want, like I said, if you want to sell something like a business card demo, that takes 5 to 10 minutes to set up. One email automation, that's all it takes, right? So just 2 steps. So if you can show that demo, it's easy for people to see that and buy. So you really can't sell what people can't see. Most of them are visual. Once they understand and see how it works, it's very easy. So we do things for restaurants to get or to capture every foot traffic and automate Google reviews and automate catalogs and stuff like that. So we go to restaurants, show them a QR code, show them a demo on the spot, takes 5 minutes, and it's easy for them to believe in a product. So before you sell, your business should be like the lab animal. So you can have all these demos that works. Right? And this is huge, right? When I started my life, like I said, I'm a very new person into the HighLevel ecosystem. We've got this Australian mastermind where just a group of Aussie business owners meet. And I went to this mastermind and with this one particular person who was just talking so big, and it made me feel so intimidated. It broke my confidence. I was like, shit, I don't know anything this guy's talking about. It doesn't make sense. So I stopped going to that mastermind. And guess what happened? In 6 months, 8 months, I was invited to speak as a keynote speaker in Sydney. So it's like I put my head down, avoided the noise, stopped comparing myself with someone else's, just put my head down and started doing the job. So I think it's important, especially the social media world where people just flash their wins and they say, hey, I made $100,000 in a 1 hour webinar. No, you did not. It's 5 years of your life compounded and you made that. So always social media, take it with a pinch of salt. People want to flash their wins, but they don't show, the struggles they have. So don't compare and don't feel bad about yourself. All of us have our journey and pace, so just respect that. And this is something that I see mostly in the ecosystem is people who are loud seems to be successful. But trust me, all three, not in India, but Dallas and Sydney, the quiet guy sitting in the corner with a casual t-shirt is making shit ton of money, more than any of the speakers on stage or any of them who are loud in the room. So now I focus the guys in the corner with a simple t-shirt, but I just want to say, don't feel pressured to be the loudest to succeed. There are very successful introverts who are just quiet and do their thing. So this is what I've seen with my personal experience. So don't force yourself to be someone that you are not. And like AI is not optional anymore. Like I say all the time, it's not going to take your job, but someone who uses AI efficiently than you is going to pick up AI tools, run faster than you, and they might grab the share that you can. So I just want to close with your roadmap. So what helps, I want you to, HighLevel has done this beautiful capture, nurture, convert. Like this slide is 2 years old. You can see it's very retro, but the concept is still evergreen. So the sweet spot is when you can figure out these three systems combined. So for me, I give these examples. So capturing happens via social media, via face-to-face events, networking events, and webinars that I do and speaking gigs that I do. That's where I capture them. So most of them are good at capturing and closing, but where there's tens of thousands of dollars left on the table is not doing the right nurture. So for the past 5 years, I don't have a fixed posting schedule. I don't post every day, but I do post on my Instagram stories. My Instagram stories gets me 80% of my leads. Okay. And I don't sell much, but that's where the relationships are built. And email newsletter, like I said, Monday morning, 9 a.m. Who sends on a Monday morning, 9 a.m.? Me, the weirdo. But I've done it very disciplined for the past 3 years, and that's been my nurture, which is a non-salesy touch point for people to swipe their cards. So traditionally, Google says you need, 11 touch points before someone can swipe their cards. So how do you get that 11 touch points is by all these different mechanisms, different platforms, and different touch points. So if you can figure out the right way to capture your leads, are you going for offline events, online events, your social media, whether you're capturing them, whether you're nurturing them through whatever works for you, and you should have a way to convert them. So once you've got these 3 systems in place, which you can automate so well. So right now, I think in the last 6 months, our systems and automation has increased like 300%. So we've done really, really well, but it took us time. So we all started with basic high-level forms, but then you can go as fancy as you want with all the automations that you want. So I think the homework or the take home would be to identify tools that you're going to capture. It could be social media, it could be your website forms, it could be face-to-face events, it could be online webinars. Once you capture them, are you segmenting them? Are you nurturing them using some kind of nurturing tools? And what is your way to convert them and close? So that's where the money is basically. All right, I think that's my famous power pivot framework that'll help you to sign your first 10 or 20 clients, or if you have stalled that phase of growth and you're stopped at 15 clients, you're not able to scale past that, there could be gaps in one or more of this. So having the right product, right pricing, basically warm up your lead from that first touch point and then converting them into a hot lead and making them a sale. Once you make them a sale, you should have options to retarget and retain them. Your online and offline presence should really reflect who you are, what you do, and you should have a right process to take people's money. That's about it.
Thank you so much, Priya. Looks like there's 2 questions here. We have Keith. You could tell us more about your newsletter?
Sure. So my newsletter basically is structured. The first 2 paragraphs is where I call it peacocking. I talk about me, what I do, the good, bad, and ugly. And that's where the relationship is built. Basically, every week, what we do in terms of business, in terms of personal life. Like last week, my husband was on holiday, and how we discussed about him coming into the business. What's my exit plan in the next 18 months? So things like that will go out today. And then it's structured about the different events that happen around the world. Different business awards that are open that people can apply, and different business grants that are open, more specific to Australia because most of my clients are based in Australia. And then 1 podcast episode of mine. So it's basically Monday morning, they get to plan the business awards that they will have to apply, business grants that they can apply, events that they can register and attend. So it's more for them. So always it's about what's in it for them. It's not about me talking about myself, how much it's nice to feed my ego, but why would people open the email newsletter? What's in it for them? So that's why it's been very successful for the past 3 years. And I think it's my 3rd source of lead gen right now. And if people come through my newsletter, I get like it's 100% close rate because they're already pretty hot lead and they just want to know the pricing. They just want to know if that's a right fit, if I can help them. And it's really, really convert. So I use HighLevel, HighLevel's email system. It still does not land in inbox. It lands in updates in my Gmail workspace, but it is what it is. We don't complain and we just work with what we have. The highest open rate with my emails has been 67%, but on an average, we sit somewhere from 24 to 27%. But the highest we've gone was 67, but 24 to 27 is the average, I would say, in the last 3 years.
Nice. Okay. And then we have one more question here. What platform are you using for the newsletter?
Yeah, that's what I just said. I use HighLevel's email newsletter system.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Did you guys have any other questions for Priya?
Taxonomy basically of a newsletter would be you talk about yourself, you basically offer something for the people that are receiving the newsletter from you. And something I imagine at the end, do you have a CTA or is kind of like a general link to book you or to purchase a product from you?
The normal CTAs in my newsletter are my 30-day free trial links to HighLevel and also a strategy call with me. So 2 CTAs goes out every week. So people who do sign up using our affiliate link, we set them up for success, meaning all the onboarding, we do it for free. And then there's a strategy call that people can book and discuss.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
Priya?
much. You did such a great job with your presentation. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your knowledge. This is very valuable for us. And in case anyone wants to reach you, how can they contact you?
Pretty much every social media platform, I would share my website here.
If anyone wants to follow you on social media, what's
Yeah,
your handle?
definitely. I'd share my social links here too. Keith, did you have a question? I think he had his hands up.
No is answered now. Now to see the link. I was just wondering if you were promoting Go High Level as a part of your. I came in late, had a technical difficulty, so I missed a part of it. Yeah, but as I see this site right here, all questions answered as far as that is concerned. Yeah.
Yeah, I did this 2-day workshop with Paulson with HighLevel, and Paulson was like, "Oh, what's your niche, Priya? Which industry do you work?" I'm like, "HighLevel is my niche." And he's like, "No one has ever said that." I said, "That's right. So HighLevel is my niche. Like any industry, anything people work. I mean, if they use HighLevel, we can help." So I've really niched down into the HighLevel space, and that's one thing what I think the Indian audience appreciated, because in India, everybody's a coach. I can say that. So where all the coaches are screaming, there's riches in the niches. You have to niche down, niche down. I'm like, you have to have evidence for you to niche down to one industry. Like if I have 10 or 20 clients in one industry, it makes sense for me to niche down. But if I don't have that validation, how can I risk niching down in an industry when I'm just assuming, right? So I told people, you don't have to niche down. You can go broad when you start. But when you find evidence, okay, real estate people are my people. I've got 20 clients in real estate. This is one clear problem I can solve for them. Then you go deep into that vertical. But until you find that evidence, you can go broad, experiment, and then find out. You don't have to niche down, was my key message.
Excellent. Thank you so much. You're more than welcome to join us if you like for the second part of the presentation. If not,
I am going to stay.